How's it going, peeps? Alright, doing a couple more things here. Have not had a whole lot of time lately. I have been basically gone for the past month, so fortunately I'd had enough stuff recorded so I could put out some content. Yeah, I've been back and forth to Denver every week, so, and I'm going back out there tomorrow. Anyway, what you're looking at is some shocks. Got them on eBay from a guy I've got a lot of parts from, and they were cheap enough. However, there's always a however. Here is the bushings for the back for the old shocks. Tried drilling them out to get the bolts through, and was totally unsuccessful at doing that. So there is no steel inside the bushing. The bushing is still there. It's just the metal part's gone. Okay. The other thing is they don't tighten down too well. I did put Loctite on them, but that's something I might have to keep an eye on. I have no idea what brand they are, and as you can see, there is an air filler thing here. I have no idea what the air is on them. I'll do some Googling on similar shocks and see what it's supposed to be, unless somebody knows and they can chime in the comments. And I got to tighten these little rings down. This one actually is pretty good. The other side I think is kind of loose. But they're in there, so I mean, there is, I think Common Motor has some, but shocks, but they're like $200, and you know, I'll give these a whirl. If they don't work, I've already checked, those bushings are fairly cheap, so I can always put that back in. I'm trying to find other pieces. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the what am I going to do? I'm going to put the kickstand on. I got the center stand on. If you look right here, there is one of the bolts for your foot pegs. This bolts into that. So let's go ahead and take that bolt out. And here's the kickstand. Cleaned it up as best I could. The bolt does go in from the back side. And getting that lined up. That'll be fun. There we go. And that is a 12 mil. And then we'll put this one back in. And I'm telling you guys, we have been having some serious weather here. Last Sunday, we had tornadoes. And then it has been raining forever. My garage here actually flooded. I should have fired up the camera and showed that. I live, you guys have seen in my videos, I live in a valley. So all that water comes downhill. I did dig a trench at one point out back to help. You know, I wonder. Yeah, it does go that way because that's where the threads are. That don't seem right then. That is how it goes. Okay. Just double checking. Making sure I didn't put it in the wrong way. I've done that before. Oh, I should have showed you. Actually, nobody actually caught it. I'm kind of surprised. But when I put the swing arm on, I had it upside down. I had paid no attention. So I went to put the shocks on, and they wouldn't fit. Okay, so now we got a kickstand, and it is sitting on the center stand right now. So that is that. One thing I want to do here is I still gotta put the brake thing on. Yeah, I gotta put this thing. Gotta put that back. I gotta put that on. And then the springs. I was looking at the other bike, and it looks like my rear, that rod that connects to the brake drum looks like maybe a bent. So that is something I'm going to take a look at. And now we're looking at the headlight. Still have to take my paper off here one of these days. Hey, 2 points. Okay, that is a Phillips. That's a Phillips. Let me grab a Phillips. I have no idea what I did with my JIS stuff. I've got it. I really need to organize all of my screwdrivers and stuff. And I will get a Ziploc to put these in. Because I will lose them. I'm sitting here looking all over for a piece for that brakes, and I'm like, what the heck did I do with it? I bag all of my stuff. Man, I could not find that for anything. It's because it's on the actual brake. I'd left it there. Whoa! Damn it, I'm going to need to glue that and get a headlight housing. Man, that was brittle. You know, I may be able to glue that back in. I think that other one is in worse shape. Well, that is brittle. But I will try to make do. So at least I'll keep the pieces for that. That sucks. So careful guys, because that is just plastic. Let me see the other one here. Well, I have another one should I need it. It's intact. Alright, let's take the headlight off, which is 2 blue ones. And this white one. And then we have a green one. Just set that in the box over there so I don't break it. And actually, one of my projects for this is, well, obviously now to fix this piece. But, you know, I think I should be able to glue that with epoxy. And then kind of sand it, maybe put a little bit of body filler over it. Alright, so then we have a high beam indicator. Which does that come off of the thing? It's just a bulb. So I have to carefully get, that just screws in there, a little piece of plastic. Well, what I'm attempting to do is take off the wiring harness. I don't know what that is. There's a green. Can't tell if that, so it goes in there. Okay, that's just grounding to the frame. Okay. Well, at least everything in here, there are 2 grounds on these headlight things. I'm just trying to make sure everything is the same color coding. Let me get my flashlight. So I'd like to get this thing wrapped. Man, that is some brittle stuff. Okay, so they all look to be color coded. I should have got me a pair of pliers though. I was standing over there. There's that one. And does this one come in here? That one come out. Man, that one wouldn't come out of there. And if it pulls it too hard, then it pulls it too. Oh, jeez. I don't know, man. I may need to get a headlight bucket. Another piece broke off there. I don't know where it went. Yeah, I'll find it in a minute. Oh, there it is. Down there. And that is brittle. I mean, you just see that side there is about to crack off. Yep, there it goes. It cracked off. I don't know. I'll look on eBay. Like I said, I can always steal that one off that bike, but then the more pieces I start taking off of it, then the less of a project it's going to become. I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, so that is that. Oh my God. I might have to buy a freaking gallon of epoxy. Oh, anyway, back to the flooding. Yeah, we've had monumental rains here. I'm sure the creek crossed the road down in front of my house at some point, probably while I was sleeping. I mean, I'm not worried about where I live here. I mean, my house is well above flood. Tell you what, there's a million freaking wires in this headlight bucket. What am I missing here? They're all jammed in here too. So anyway, yeah, we've had all this weather here, and then it's going to get really cold again. But, does that one come out of there, or is that one fixed in there? It may be fixed in there. That one came out. I'm going to Denver again, so, and it's supposed to be super nice there. That's attached to that. light green to that darker green. Well, it's just a bit faded, but I'll figure it out. That one though, I probably ought to get my phone and take a picture of it because the colors are close enough to where by the time I get to that point, I will have done forgot. So, where's that wire at right there? So yeah, it's supposed to be pretty nice in Denver this week. A lot nicer than it is here. So I'll take that. Okay, so we have another white to a white. And then we have this yellow red. Okay, I think, nope, this one. I can't come up there. I think this harness is disconnected. Yes. I don't know which one that is though. Or where it's going. Or that's a speed armor. Where is that going? That might be today. All the lights in the, let's see here. Get over here. So here's this big one. I know my big head's probably in your way. Okay. Yeah, I still have things connected. Okay, so that is disconnected. Whoa. Okay, now that is a black wire. Throw me for a loop here. So we've got the two orange. Well, they're not quite orange. It's, I don't know what color that is. And does that even come off there? Okay, so that is disconnected. What a mess. Gray and gray. Okay, so that one's disconnected. That is the ground for the going to that's the same color green. Yes, it is. That's going to the high beam light. And I'm going to leave that out. I'll just take that off. Set that down there. Okay, so those are no, they're not. Thought they were. It feels like That's kind of great. I got my needle nose right over there. I'll have to look at that. Okay, so that's disconnected. I don't know where that's going. I was kind of dreading doing this because I know they're always a pain in the butt. Let's see what I can yank out. See if it'll come out. Here, let me turn it around this way. To my big old noggin. Trying to get all these connectors through here is the real tricky part. Let me see if I can get some of these smaller ones out of here first. I can't even see where half these are going. Okay, that's for the cluster. It probably would have been easier just to remove the bucket. But I would like to, see all this stuff here, I need to cut this stuff off and just rewrap it. And then this one, this fat one here, is this one? Yeah, that is the other side of where the tack is. Okay, there's that one. So what else we got in here? There's that one there, which is going up under. Is that part of something else? I don't know what that goes to. But we're going to find out here in a minute. Once we get it out, yanked out of here. That one, this one here, is going into the handlebars. What do we got left here? And we got this other one here, this other smaller one. That is that one right there. Okay. So that leaves us with this monster one. All right. And I did miss a ground. We have a wiring harness out. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Not. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this headlight bucket off. That looks to be like 14 maybe. Or bigger. Maybe a 15? Yeah, it looks like a 14. It is indeed a 14. Well, at least we got. Really? At least we got all the wiring out. Project for another day. You know, if I wasn't going for originality on this one, I would just get an aftermarket headlight. I know. I say that after I have put aftermarket shocks on it. I know. But, guys, we are going to attempt to glue that and see how well that works. I will look on Amazon and see if I can find a headlight bucket. I still need to get all new cables. I'm guessing this lock works. I don't know. Let's take the key out and see. Well, if it's locked, if it's moving, it ain't. Oh, there it goes. I'll be darned. Needs a bit of lube, but it's working. I'll be darned. Take the good with the bad. Okay, so these fork ears, they need some love. They need a lot of love. I can try to bend them once I get to the point where I'm taking the front end off. I wanted to kind of focus on some of this wiring and get that ran back in. Of course. Yeah, I don't want to lose my pieces here to my puzzle. They're all in the bag over here. Okay. Bag of parts. There you go, Kane. Bag of parts for you. All right. I mean, I can go ahead and these are junk anyway. I'm sure these cables ain't no good. Ain't. This is my proper English here. Ain't. Well, that's stiff. I'll cut that off. Yep. Man, I'd like to replace this, but I don't really want to take all them freaking connectors off there. You know what I probably could do is get a little bit oversized tubing and then run a piece of shrink wrap over it. That way I'm not having to take all these connectors off here. That might work. Give it a whirl when the time comes. Yeah, those things are all shot. Alright, so that is where we stand at the moment. I will get to, actually I've still got to see, if you look at that, that's been wrapped. Yeah, it does have some plastic sheathing on like these, But this other stuff's been wrapped. So I will unpeel all of this. And this looks just like electrical tape. And that's factory. Okay, so we can unravel all this. We can unravel all of this. This I need to get rid of and wire in that other new thingamajiggy. Yeah, so this might not be too bad. I definitely going to have time to work on it today. Maybe next weekend, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, at least we got the wiring harness out. We know the headlight bucket is a mess. I will try to glue that first and see how well that's going to work. If that ain't going to work too well, then obviously I'll get on eBay and see if I can find a replacement one. Because that's got to be painted. These fork ears got to be unbent and painted. I got to take turn signals off. Those got to be cleaned up. What was that? Was that a 14? Of course not. That's bigger than a 14. Maybe a 16? I think it's a 16. Let's see. Dude, I'm way off. That's not even a 16. Maybe an 18? 17 or 18. Okay, so we got I think it's a 17. And that's probably a 16. Let's see. No, now that one's probably the 14. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I need the 14 back. Which I think I just threw back on the table over here. Don't drop that sucker. Really? There's a little wing on that plastic piece. Yeah, they'll clean up fine. Fine enough. This ain't gonna be showroom. Not that I wouldn't mind it looking showroom, but I will be happy if it runs, honestly. Talk about anticipation. That's crusty. Okay, well, at least we got the turn signals off, and no cane. I do not need to bag those. I'm just messing with you, man. Oh, speaking of which, I need to see if you need more coffee. Well, I can at least. Can't get that off with my fingers. I'm a wuss. But I can get it off with this. And then I can come over here and get this one off. got stuff. Well, what do you think? Is that a keeper? I think that's a keeper. And I'm sure this speedometer cable is not much better. How did that come out of there? Oh, that's what I just do with that screwdriver, guys. There we go. Tell you, man. Jeez, I'm starting to sound like Roscoe P. Coltrane. Who's that? Yeah, I might have to get the old, yeah, that thing. Okay, what else? What else? What else? What else? Well, I mean, those are not even tight in there. Those are attached to the stem. So I'll deal with those later. And, oh, yeah. So that's what I want to do, guys. Deal with that later. So anyway, we've got all of this off. More stuff to mess with. And I got to get my impact thingy off to loosen that screw down there for the speedometer cable. And what else? Man, I could take them off the housing there. But this one here is actually not even... I hope that ain't broke. What is that? 10? No? 12 maybe? Let's see. Let's see if it's 10. 10 or 12. No, that don't feel right, guys. That and the bushings are shot. I will have to look up, because they're both really loose. And they won't tighten down anymore. I know, my big head's probably in the way. I think they need more bushings in there, maybe on the top and the bottom, because it doesn't look, yeah, they're loose in there. Them things are going to vibrate all over the place. Tell you what, while we're here, right? Let's take this off. Kind of see what we're dealing with. I'm guessing that goes like that. Yeah, that's a little washer. Okay, so nut, flat washer. I'll show you here in a sec. Nut, flat washer, rubber bushing. Let's take this out of here. So it goes like so. Like that. And then the nut. I will definitely have to look. Those things are, they're kind of hard, but kind of not. There is a plastic ring inside here, which is broke, so I'm not going to touch that. Guys, I'll show you. I know if I touch it, well, actually I could touch it. See, it's all crumbled inside there. So I may have to put like a rubber bushing here and here, and I bet you it's the same. See how that loose is? How loose that is? So anyway, I will not take that out. I'm going to leave that attached for now. And then I'll have to bag up this plastic stuff and see if I can find, if they even make that anymore, which I highly doubt. But, and it's in pieces. I don't even think there's a super glue in that one because there's a chunk missing out of it, which probably fell on the ground somewhere. So, anyway, I will need thoughts on that, guys. Yeah, I'll look to see if they sell it, but I'm trying to think what I could use. If I can't get that, what could I put down inside here? Because that's actually a sizable piece of plastic. Dale, if you see this and you come across it, chime in. You know we're here. What the heck? Yeah, I feel pieces just come off of this thing, coming out in holes. And that's probably why it's not tightening up. Yeah, this one's broke too. Crap. Well, you gotta expect it for a bike that's 50, what, 54? 54 years old. I know parts of me break off. Just joking. Sometimes I feel like they're gonna break off. Alright, so got those out. Still gotta put the chain guard on. I got that tightened down. I gotta make sure I got all that stuff tightened down. I was going crazy one day, and I know my videos run long. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I do not edit out content unless I screw something up, which I'm gonna start leaving in so you guys can see all the stupid mistakes that I make. So anyway, I will cut this off here, and well, you know that's going to be fun, getting these wires out of these handlebars. That is really going to be fun. So, you know, but I'll take off the handlebars, and then maybe I'll just slice up what I need to, and then wrap with the that material I was telling you about, which I'll show you. I will definitely show you, bring you guys along when I do that. So yeah, I still want to take the handlebars off right now in case I got to roll it somewhere. Which actually I know I'm going to have to roll it somewhere because my truck is due for an oil change. So I'm going to have to move this one, and you know, I threw away, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt now. I threw away the back tire off of this one the other day, and I should have kept it and put it on this other bike sitting over here, because that tire is flat. It's only flat on one side, but it is flat. And that way I can roll this one around. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this thing. I don't know. Yeah, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, I will check back with you guys here real soon. Alright guys, what I got here, this is the headlight bucket. And if you remember, a bunch of these pieces cracked off when I was taking it apart. So I've used some JB Weld plastic repair. So I've got that sitting on that, letting that cure. And then I've got down here is the wiring harness. So I'm not going to bore you with watching all this, but as you can see, a lot of this stuff is just like electrical tape. And this has not been messed with. This is factory from Honda. Now farther down here, you got some hard plastic. So what I'm going to use is my cloth tape. Which, when I bring it back, I'll show you the cloth tape. But I can go ahead and, this thing I don't need. I'm going to take that off because I got that replacement part from, what's the name of that joint? Common Motor. But I have to snip all this stuff off here, this hard plastic, which I really need a better pair of small side cuts because those things are crap. And I'm really kind of hesitant about, I mean, I can try to score it with a razor blade, but I don't want to cut into any of these wires. And then there's a couple of wires that I'm going to need to replace. This one here, I don't know if it's supposed to be black or green. And then this one's a light green and a dark green. I need to see if I've got any of that green wire. I'm not sure. I think I do. Or a green color. Probably bright green. Yeah, I got this bright green color right here. I might could use for that. Put an end on it. I do have ends that I can crimp on to fix those bullet connectors and whatnot. Those are doubles. I just got to round up all of my electronic connectors. Yeah, I think they're buried over there somewhere. And then you know, start wiring this thing up. I'm gonna let this fully cure. I'll probably not even mess with that until like Sunday, and then I'll sand it down. I'll sand this smooth and then see how bad it looks, and probably just take a tiny little bit of body filler. This stuff right here. And the glazing and spot putty. And right there. I'll just put a thin layer on and then sand it smooth and, you know, make sure I don't see no cracks in it. That way, you know, and I'll get it all cleaned up. That way when I go to paint it, which I need to order paint here before long because I need to, actually I need to continue working on that freaking tank over there. I keep forgetting. I mentioned it. Do you see it? Is it over there? Yeah, you see it right there. I need to double check and make sure it ain't leaking, and then continue to sand it and do what I got to do to it and get it prepped and ready to go because I got to paint that. I got to paint the side pieces, which are over on the other side of the garage. The headlight, the fork tubes, the fork ears. I think that's all I got to paint. So, and I need to order that paint, which I'm just going to go with that red. It's a red candy red or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to get to cutting all this stuff off of here and bring you back once I start wrapping it up. So, see you here in a minute. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is the tank. I did coat the inside twice, and I've had this thing soaking now. It is Friday. Since probably about Tuesday, and as you can see, no leaking. And it's still very full. It's right at the top there. So I'm going to dump that out, and I think I'm going to start trying to sand on it some and get it sanded and then work on priming it. Haven't had a whole lot of time to do much of anything as of late. So what I got here is the wiring harness, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat, and this will not be Dale approved. We got the hard plastic here. I'm going to do my best to get this off of here carefully. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of that tubing that I got and maybe just split it. And I'll just put it back over this section because I think this section sits up along the engine. And then I'll wrap it with that tape. So instead of taking all the connectors off and redoing all that stuff, yeah, I know it's kind of the cheaping way out, but it'll work and it'll look good. So I'll bring it back. It's going to take me a bit to cut them pieces off there because they're brittle, and I did get these electronic side cuts to see how well that's going to help, but I think I'm going to probably end up going at it with a razor. But anyway, I'll bring you back once I've got it all dismantled and ready to start taping it up.